Hello everyone and welcome to our show. Today I'm excited to discuss about SEO, how you can get results, and I put the title of this live stream SEO secrets, and I think that I have the best guest who can provide insights how you can rank your website to get results, because we had one live stream, and Craig Campbell shared a lot of insights there. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me back. It's a pleasure to be here again. We enjoyed the last one.
I decided to check out some of your social media profiles, and I found that you have mass following on TikTok. It's interesting for me because I create a lot of content for TikTok. Even I had a webinar with one girl. She has over 2 million followers on TikTok. A lot. She told a lot about TikTok, but I have a lot of views, like 1,000 views for each video, but people don't follow me. Do you have some secrets with TikTok, and we can jump with the main topic?
There's no real major secret to TikTok in terms of getting followers. Now, the weird thing is, I've not figured out TikTok 100% yet, but one day I can post a video that I think is really funny, and it gets like 1,000 views, and the next day I post a video which is just very, very average, and it gets 1,000,000 views. So it's a bizarre platform, and obviously it's all about engagement and capturing people's attention right from the get-go. And if you don't do that, and you don't do something that's currently trending, then you've got no chance. But what you need to do is also consider the times of day and stuff that your audience or your followers are active, because the more engagement and the more watch time your video gets by your current followers means that you're going to get put on the FYP page or the For You page, and that is where you're going to get followers. So when I have put out videos that have got like 1,000,000 views, I have an outrageous amount of followers from that. So, I just can't quite figure out, why certain videos go viral and others don't. As I say, I've done a lot funnier videos and they've had very small amounts of views. So I think it comes down to the day, the time of that as well, and trying to do that at the peak times. But it's still something I'm trying to figure out. I've only got, I think, 39,000 followers on there. I'm trying to grow that. I'm not sure if it's going to be a great place for SEO or it's just a great place to goof around and have some fun. So I'm not entirely sure you can monetize that traffic too well, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to try anyway.
I think TikTok for future, because this audience can grow. I remember when Facebook started, that was for universities. Today, the audience is age on Facebook. That's okay, TikTok is a good place if you think about long strategies and create brand awareness. Why not? And you told me that you don't know what content can bring results. It's the same with any other platforms. For example, on LinkedIn, as I sometimes surprise, where I can get results. Consistency is the best way to figure out what you can bring. And I love testing a lot to provide new content ideas and check out which content can bring results, because you can't copy others. It's better to find your unique stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, by the way, you can submit your websites. We got 7 websites. I will share these websites with Craig Campbell, and we will provide insights for these websites. But I want to start from the first question that people often ask me, how to start from scratch. For example, today there are 1.8 billion websites online. Competition is huge. It's hard to get traffic. For example, I discussed on webinar with Lily Ray, and she told that you need to spend a few years to get the first traffic. Rand Fishkin told about using any different methods. What is your insight, of how to start?
How to start? Obviously, everyone's going to have a different opinion, and fair play to everyone. For me, Minted Empire, the Granny Curtains was a good TikTok video. I just seen that flashing up at the corner of my eye. But yeah, to start out, Lily is probably right. I mean, right in some regards that it can take you a while to start to get traffic, but a couple of years isn't entirely true, depending on the time and effort that you put in. Now, when you're starting out, you need to figure out whether you're going to be an affiliate or trying to get traffic to a client's website. It's all the same thing. Now, you've obviously got to have on-page, technical, they two have to be done properly. And then in comes your link building and stuff. Now, you might be put off when you say figures like there's, X amount of billion websites on the internet. The way I look at it is there is billions of websites out there, but how many of them actually have good SEO? And those figures drastically reduce at that point. So there's always weaknesses. There's even looking at my own website, which you done prior to the show, looking at my website, my own personal website has got massive problems SEO wise with it. It still ranks, it still gets traffic, but I could do 100 more things to get more traffic to it. So what does that mean? Now, it obviously means that I'm a lazy bandit and I could do more, but it means there's weaknesses in the market. So the SEO industry is relatively competitive. Can you become a big deal in the SEO industry as an affiliate marketer, speaker, or anything? 100% you can. So do not be put off by these big numbers. Now, also, if I'm going to attack an affiliate marketing project for myself, am I thinking I'm not going to get traffic for a year? Absolutely not. I'll take advantage of things like age domains, utilizing the power of an age domain name to give myself the best possible start. And then effectively, I'm using a content strategy to make money within a 3 to 6 month period. And then I flip the website on. So it's not entirely true that it can take years. Of course, it can take years, on a low budget, or if you're working in a massive project and all that kind of stuff, of course. But, in general, for local clients, small businesses in a specific area and things like that, it's not going to take you years. That's for sure. You can get the upper hand quite quickly by doing the basics properly. And for me, one of the biggest flaws in this industry is a lot of people are not even doing the basics properly. How many times have you audited a website and they've got no, they've not even got their SSL certificate installed properly. They've got duplicate content. They have no meta descriptions. They've no internal links. They don't do any backlinks. Their content's all cannibalizing against each other. That is what we're up against out there. So although SEO is competitive in certain niches, it's certainly by no means a place where you can say, oh, I'm too late to the party. You can get in here now and you can get traffic fairly quickly. However, also, why would you not use other platforms to drive traffic to your website? You can use paid platforms like AdWords, Facebook ads, Quora ads, anything that's going to get you engagement and traffic initially can also help your SEO efforts. I think, click-through rate, engagement, and all of that kind of stuff can all go into your SEO efforts, but also you can just make money. I spoke at a conference, I think it was in January this year, and it was called something like the Traffic Conversion Summit or something like that. Now, I was asked to speak at this conference as an SEO guy. Now, everyone at that conference was talking about paid search, and it's all affiliate marketers only utilizing paid search. They didn't understand SEO. They didn't understand the benefits, the difference between organic traffic and paid traffic. And obviously, it was my job to speak at that conference to talk about that side of it. Now, I was flabbergasted by the lack of knowledge from these people where they're like, really? I could get more bang for my buck implementing SEO, and you're like, for sure. So, you know, there's lots of different ways where you can make money online, whether that's solely doing it on a paid basis or doing SEO. But I think to begin with, try and utilize other traffic sources where you can, because longer term SEO, you know, it's a longer term strategy, and that you are looking at it, you know, kicking in 3 months, 6 months, or whatever it might be. But to get the instant sales now, you know, tomorrow you could throw up a Shopify website, put Facebook ads to it, and sell products. That's how easy it is to get traffic online. If you've got the money, you can do it. But obviously not everyone's got the money. And that's where SEO has to come in, and you have to do the basics properly.
Yeah, great advice. You know, after the previous webinar, you told me, let's give folks what they want to get. And many people want to get practical tips that they can use. And we can reply to all questions that people will submit. But I want to propose you to review websites, because I told you that I got 7 websites. And right now I check out, you know, over 27 websites we have now. I put the link in the private chat. You can choose any website, and we can start here to provide some insights with any websites. I provided batch analysis with Ahrefs, and choose websites that you like more. We have some websites with traffic, with domain authority, and by the way, who is online now, just tell. You can submit your websites in the chat, and just choose one website.
Right, so can I share my screen here? Yeah, so I can show you what I'm looking at.
Okay,
so share screen. So I am going to take this particular website here, dogsechew.in. Now, I've selected this one just very quickly because it has a low DR. So I'm just going to have a quick look at SEMrush as well. I always like to use 2 different tools to look at the website. And we can obviously see that this particular website hasn't been going too long. You know, it's a dog affiliate website by the looks of it. And let me just double check. Shop now. Well, it's an e-commerce website, so they're selling dog stuff, puppy stuff, and various other bits and bobs on the website there. So very quickly, in fact, I'll go back to the website. So the website looks okay. It's got the home, shop, about us, blog, contact. It's clean and tidy, easy to use. It's got the prices there. Simple. There's nothing too wrong with the look of it. One of the first things I always look at, though, is the backlink profile, and obviously the current state of affairs when it comes to organic search and what's going on. And we can see here, you know, the website and the growth and everything else, where it looks like since around about October, you know, this website has massively shot up in traffic. Now, flicking back to SEMrush, it shows a little bit, well, yeah, it's probably similar. So we can see that someone is clearly doing some work here. We can see the organic search traffic has jumped up, and we can see which keywords are working well for this particular person. So we can see the traffic, 30% comes from how to deworm a dog, home remedies, and various other searches. So you can see it's you know, a lot of kind of not great search terms that, you know, 70 searches, 90 searches a month, that's bringing in the bulk of the traffic there, and it's all round about this deworming. But the website is just not powerful enough. You know, if we look at the backlink profile, they clearly, you know, have 1,100 keywords and all that kind of stuff, but the organic traffic is not great. It's because of the keywords that they've got here. are what they are. You know, they're deworming of dogs. It's not high profile keywords and stuff like that. And you're not likely to get high profile keywords when you look at the backlink profile of this website. You know, you're going to have to do better than a DR4. Now, even building citations to this website would get you up to around about a DR10. Now, we look at the links that this website's got, and it is all garbage, absolute trash of the day, that have very little to no power at all. So you have to work on the backlink side of things. But secondly, you know, a lot of the traffic I've noticed when we go back to the overview is coming from the US market. Now, you obviously need to understand where your target audience is. Are you trying to rank in India, or are you trying to rank in America? Now, this website ranks okay in both countries. However, that's for, you know, these home remedies for ticks and dogs. Now, if you want to target some of the higher, more competitive keywords, then using this .in domain name in America is not going to really hit the page one for a lot of the major search terms. So when I'm looking at this, you know, I think the website's moving along okay. You do have some keywords ranking well, but you're going to have to hit this a lot harder than you are. You know, you've got, let's check the sitemap. XML. So let's have a look at, I'm just having a quick look to see how much content they've got there. So they've got a fair bit of content there. It would be wrong to say they didn't have a huge amount. However, if you're doing this, you're going to have to, you know, you've probably got around about 50 articles on that website or something round about that figure. Now, to get 50 articles and you're only ranking for 1,100 keywords and you're only getting 350 visitors, according to Ahrefs, something is fundamentally not right. Now, of course, the backlinks are not great. However, you do have a lot of search terms that are sat in page 2 and below, and we need to look at why that might be. You know, you have to look at, I'm going to take one that's maybe in page 3. Wait a minute. Remedies for deworming of dogs. In fact, I'm going to take this page. Now, you've got your title tag here, natural remedies for deworming of dogs. You've got it in the header. You've got it throughout the content. Pumpkin seeds, blah, 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 blah. Now, I want to know what the content strategy is on a website like this. So I'm going to put it into Page Optimizer Pro. Now, let me tell you why I do this in just a second. I can't multitask, guys, so apologies. So new project, and I'm just going to put in this domain name, and I'll show you how this works. And this works for any website, by the way. So if you've not seen this tool, it's very similar to Surfer and various other tools like that, where remedies for deworming of dogs. Oh, Jesus. That's the kind of main phrase there. I'm just going to put that in. I'm just going to make sure that that's set to USA. States. And I'm going to click next. Now, what this basically does is compares your content to the guys who are ranking in the top 10 search results. And essentially, for me, that page there is the one that drives the most traffic to this website. but can we get more out of that particular page? And the answer is going to be yes. Now, when this basically fulfills its job, it's going to tell us what semantically related keywords we can add, what subheadings we can use, how many words should be going on to that blog post. Now, when I look at this blog post just now, it to me doesn't look as if it's that long or it's that great. There's no real call to action here either. When you look at this and you read it and you've got a picture of a dog there and you see these remedies and you get to the bottom of the page after reading all of this shit. Well, sorry, not shit, but you know what I mean. Where's the button to buy one of the products? Where is the call to action here? There's absolutely nothing. So if I've read all of this and we find out that you've got a remedy to help this dog, where the hell do I buy it? There's no call to action here at all. Nothing at all. So for me, it is pointless writing a blog post that has no call to action. It doesn't take you to the right place on that shop. And that's essentially what I would want. A big button somewhere that takes me to the right product that I want to buy if I'm deworming that dog. Now, that's not there. There is not a single internal link on this page. Now, let me check this actually. No, that's not an internal link. I can't click on it. Now, internal links is important for your SEO. You want to show Google, by internally linking to the main product pages or those main category pages, what the most powerful pages are in your website. Now, if you don't know what is the most powerful page in your website, go to a tool like Ahrefs and check your top pages. This will tell you that is your top page. It ranks for 288 keywords. You want internal links on your website pointing to this page here. Of course, you've got blog after blog after blog, here, and you want to make sure where relevant, you can link back to the main pages on your website. But as I say, this particular page is your best page and it ranks for 288 keywords. This page here is garbage. It ranks for one keyword and brings in literally nothing. It's sat in position 21. So that's where I'm concerned over your content strategy. And that's why I am going to run this through this tool. So it's just going to check the page now. But this goes for any website. You can check what the top pages are. You can build an internal linking structure, not one single internal link here. And I'm going to just double check some other posts, some of the most recent posts. Dog humping and mounting, is this normal behavior? I just clicked on this randomly, by the way. But you can see here, not an internal link. There's nothing there to drive people to something else or whatever. So again, your content strategy for me is pretty poor. As I say, lack of call to action, lack of internal links, lack of backlinks, and I'm actually surprised that this particular website has actually got any traffic. Now, you are getting some traffic out of that one page, but let's see if that's a fluke. The score here is 29.2%. Now, the everyone else in page one has around about 3,291 words on their page. You have 1,218. So the tool is telling us we could potentially add another 2,000 words to this page. Now, in the page title, you've got remedies for deworming of dogs. You could have potentially had various other words in there. Now, in terms of subheadings, you could have spoke about puppies. You could have mentioned the word treatment. You could have mentioned the word dewormer, immune, digestive, and so on. These are all important and semantically related subheadings that you can add to your page so that you do make sure that page is found for hundreds more keywords. Now, going to the main content, again, the green means that you've done it properly. The amber means you could do it more, and the red means you've not done it at all. So there's semantically related keywords here that are pulled from the Google NLP tool, and you want to make sure that you're adding in semantically related keywords to the content on that page. And as you can see, there's plenty of red and orange dots to make sure that would allow us more opportunity for more content. And that is something that this particular website lacks. So that content strategy that this person is using is one of those approaches where they're randomly just saying to someone, write 1,200 words of content on remedies for deworming of dogs, and there's no underlying strategy to that. So we could potentially add 2,000 more words. And what anyone who's watching this will need to ask themselves is, why would I want to do that? Now, of course, you want to rank number one or on page one for any of these search terms. Now, you have to do what the other guys are doing, and that's where that target amount of words is coming from. Everyone else in page one has that length of content. They also have these FAQs. They also have, well, normally it gives you related keywords here as well. So this, adding this tool to part of the content strategy is something else that I think these guys should be implementing. So, whilst the website is doing well and it's got good traffic over the last couple of months, I think there's massive, massive underlying issues with the website, and it could be done a lot better.
Yeah, great advice. I see that you analyze deeply, everything. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm interested about using Ahrefs and SEMrush. I think that all tools have advantages and disadvantages, but I see that you analyze the same information on SEMrush, ranking keywords in the top 10. Which tool is accurate, in your opinion, of course, because it depends, as usual.
So, I mean, I like to compare both. Who's the most accurate? I would probably say SEMrush is closer to being accurate than Ahrefs at the moment. Now, the reason that I do want to confirm, 2 or 3 bits of information is just for clarity in my head. It's the same when I do a technical audit. I'll use SEMrush, I'll use Screaming Frog, and I'll also use Sitebulb. I think some of these tools have better data. Like Ahrefs for me has better backlink data, and SEMrush has better keyword data. I also think SEMrush has a lot more tools in terms of technical stuff. But what I really like about Ahrefs is the ability to find broken links, ability to look at the top performing pages. So from that data, you can then give that to someone to do your internal linking strategy and stuff like that. So it's how you interpret the data. And for me, both tools are great great tools overall, but I think you need both of them. I think SEMrush are great at some things, not so great at other things. I think the SEMrush audit is fairly aggressive and fairly accurate, whereas the SEMrush one, the Ahrefs one, is not so accurate. So yeah, I just like to play with both. But what you also need to remember is, these tools don't have access to your Google Search Console or your analytics. They're using data. Who knows how old that data that they're using is? It could potentially be a month out of date, 2 months old. We don't know the answer to that. There is discrepancies in that data, make no mistake. So if I look at traffic on Ahrefs or SEMrush for that matter, and it says, I'm getting 5,000 hits a month, the chances are you can just times that number by 5 and you'll probably be a lot closer to the truth. So the data in terms of traffic and everything else is massively downplayed, because the way that these guys calculate the score is not from Google Analytics. They are looking at search volume, and then their own internal algorithm will say position 1 for that keyword, which gets 4,000 monthly searches, is going to get 80% of the traffic. Position 2 will get this. And that's the kind of formula they work with to guess how much traffic you've got. but it's not accurate, and we all know that. So you need to take the data, understand how it's calculated, and then it's just easy to read in between the lines from there. So I don't want to really slag any of them off. I think they both do a great job. My preference is SEMrush, though. I think an all-in-one tool, SEMrush would be, if I had to only have one, SEMrush would be that one that, you could use for more things. But as I say, I like to use both. I'm greedy that way.
Got it. Before we start with the next website, I have the question about using keywords, because you showed that a lack of words in some content, how to put them. It's like to rewrite texts or something else, because, for example, I usually pay attention with titles and descriptions, and it's old school SEO to provide in the first 100 words, but I think that it works because people can scan content, analyze it's relevant or not, and decide to stay on this page. Can you provide more insights how to put all these keywords that you found to content?
I think what you say, in terms of trying to get the keyword in, one, in the URL, the title, but then try and get it in the first paragraph somewhere, not necessarily at the start of the paragraph, but just to try and capture the person's attention very quickly. I think it makes them stay on the page for longer and continue to scroll. If you're going to rank a page and you've got all this waffle, sales talk or whatever it might be at the start of it, that's when people can bounce off very quickly because no one wants to read that stuff. So I think you have to be very direct. And as you say, potentially old school, but I think you've got to hit that keyword very early on in the content. Now, throughout the rest of the content, of course, you need to use keywords in the subheadings, semantically related keywords throughout the content and all that kind of stuff. However, what a lot of people do, in my opinion, is try and focus too much on what these tools are saying. You have to write for the user. You cannot sound like an oddball. Now, the tools are great. Of course, go and write 2,000 words on this and, put in some of these words and all that stuff. Of course, that's good guidance, but use them as a guide. Do not have it down to some perfect art. I think Google is clever enough now using their natural language processing. Google's got all the data in the world, and they can understand what you're trying to do or what you're trying to say on that content. So I think you do need to also consider the user, not make it spammy. Do not try and, I get asked all the time, what keyword density should I have? And I'm like, fuck, dude, forget about keyword density. Just go write about dogs or whatever it's going to be. And then at that point, I may add it in once or twice more after analyzing it through, a tool like POP or whatever. But I think people become obsessed with these tools and try and make it exact. Now, as you say, you do things that are potentially old school and you've got your own way of working, adding the content into the first part, the first sentence or whatever. Now, that's your way of working and clearly it works for you. And everyone's different, but the one thing is spam doesn't work. That is no different. You do not need these keyword densities. You do not need to mention the keyword hundreds of times and sound like an oddball, because if someone reads that, and people do read this stuff sometimes, you sound like an oddball. But if someone reads that, on the flip side, I'm getting feedback from this, but on the flip side of that, I had a website once that I used to use for lead generation, and the guy that I was selling leads to sold his business. So I was left with a website that was still getting leads. So I put up a banner, a main on the header of the website, and also in the main slider saying, this website is available to rent. You can buy leads from me, blah, 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 blah. And I was still getting phone calls. It was like a gutter cleaning website, and I was still getting phone calls saying, can you come and clean my gutter? So on the flip side of that, sometimes certain customers do not read anything. They just look very quickly for a website. So if it's a service like a plumber, you've got to get that balance. It's got to read okay, but it's also got to tick the box of the search engines. Sometimes people don't read it, but what you need to understand is that Google will read it. Google will pick up on any of this crap that you've got, and if it doesn't read well, it's not grammarly checked. Are Google really going to rank something in position 1 that's full of spelling mistakes and stuff? Nah, it's not. You've got the ability to have a Grammarly and check all of these kind of other tools. The quality barrier has went up in terms of content, in my opinion, and what worked 10 years ago no longer is that effective. And certainly, if I was Google and you put up a whole bunch of garbage that didn't have basic punctuation, I wouldn't be putting it in page 1. Absolutely not. So I think you also have to take that into account as well.
Yeah, I agree completely. I never check out density. I think that the last time I did it 10 years ago, something like this, when Google couldn't understand content the right way, but after Panda, many other updates, BERT, I don't remember exactly all these updates, but yeah, I think Google can understand the quality. And I found one way. Before creating content, I usually search for pages that have a lack of quality content and a good traffic. For example, it's a strategy from Brian Dean, skyscraper technique, but it's more to provide links for these pages. But it's the same with searching topics to provide in your blog. When you find some crappy blog posts that have traffic, why not rewrite them, provide something new? And I found that rewriting doesn't work. You need to provide new insights because people usually check out the top 10, and copywriters who don't know your topic, they can't provide something new and unique. They usually rewrite existing content, and it hurts ranking. It's hard to get results in that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, we have 35 websites. I don't know how we can provide insights for all these websites. Just choose that you like more, from the list. Yeah.
Have a look. I'm going to pick one now that's got more domain authority.
I see the comment from Get News 360. If you wanna insights about your website, please write in the comments because I don't know which is your website. You wrote a few times. Please review my website, but I don't know. We have a lot of websites on the list. Yeah, just guys, if you wanna to get review about your websites, just submit in the chat because we will check out only on the list. Yeah.
Get News 360 is on there, so can you please? I can review that. That website's there, so and it's got a DR49. So I am going to let me just put this into Ahrefs and SEMrush. Now, bear in mind, guys.
Oh, can you share your screen?
Yeah, 2 seconds. That would help massively. Share, screen share. There we go. Okay. So I am going to look at this website, which is one of the people in the chat. So Get News 360, it does have decent DR. The reason that I'm picking this one is because it has a better DR. The last one I was always going to assume was a new website, but this one here clearly has more advanced, should have more advanced SEO, but by the looks of it, there's a bit of a problem. So DR49, it ranks for 1,300 keywords. It's got 10,000 backlinks, 1,026 referring domains, and your traffic value is £11. So that doesn't add up. So there's something we need to dig into here to see what the hell's going on. So let me have a quick look at the website in general. So it looks like one of those typical websites that is fairly generic in terms of information.
I think it's news. Yeah.
Yeah, news. I'm not sure if they tie in with some affiliate links and stuff like that. Thermal wear for men. Yeah, so they're obviously doing some kind of affiliate going on there, which is fine. Thermal wear for kids. So woolen wear, they're obviously doing the woolen wear affiliate. So it's a news website, which obviously doubles up as an affiliate. Now, what is massively concerning for me is the DR, the backlinks, and the traffic value doesn't add up. I would be expecting this to be a lot more than it currently is. Your traffic is slipping. And what it looks like is, this website has went up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down over the course of the last few years. So you get so far, and then, even on the 9th of February, you have a lot of organic traffic, and now you're down to nothing. Now, what we're looking at here is your organic keywords are not dipping the same way your traffic is dipping. So why is that traffic dipping? We have to figure out. Now, I'm just going to flick over to SEMrush, and SEMrush are basically saying this website ranks for nothing. 31 keywords. There's none in position 1 to 3. You get nothing in page 1. 1 on page 2, and the rest of your keywords are on pages 3 and below. So first things first, let's check the sitemap. I'm going to imagine if this is a news website, you have a lot of content going on here. So I'm going to have a quick look. Right, so 26. So yeah, you've got a lot of content going on here. Literally hundreds of pages. I just want to see the frequency of your posting here. So thousands of articles, which is a good thing, but it looks like there's no real consistency here. You bulk upload a whole bunch of content on the 15th of March. Before that, there was a couple on the 3rd of March, but a news website would normally have stuff on here every day. There's massive gaps in between when you're posting content. Now, I know this is not your typical proper news website, but we're going to have to look at the content here and see what the hell's going on with the content, because none of this content is really ranking at all, which defeats the purpose of it. So first things first, that picture is very, very big. I'm not really, obviously I know what I'm doing, but if someone sees that, are they encouraged to scroll? Probably not. Now, your keyword here is 8 best commercial security camera systems. Now, that's all good and well. You've got that in the URL. You've got it in the title here. Security camera system. Let's keep going. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of internal links again, which is not a major problem at this point, but something you do want to consider. So your article length is okay. Now, yeah, I'm just checking what that was there. The author, Rahul Sharma, has an empty head. Now, here is a tip that I feel has massively impacted a lot of websites like this. If Rahul Sharma is the author for a lot of your stuff, which is the persona that you're using to update this website, and he's not an authority in any way, then he's not going to be taken seriously. So you need to make sure that Rahul Sharma builds up a bit of authority and trust and is not an empty head, just a shell of a guy that's on here. Now, it's saying here he's the destination for fashions lover. You've been working in digital marketing. Let me click on your Twitter and Facebook to see if you're a real guy. There's nothing here. So in terms of expertise, authority, and trust, or the EAT update, which impacted the medical niche a few years back, that was a big thing. Obviously, they couldn't have eggheads talking about medical advice. You then have the Your Money, Your Life update, where anything that's going to impact your money or your life has to be done from someone who has expertise, authority, and trust. And I think with the December update, a lot of websites in general just have to have some form of expertise, authority, and trust. Now, the reason I say this is, and I'm going to show you, there's a website I've been watching, and this website has got an amazing amount of growth pre-December. So after the update, how the hell did they get that growth there? Now, what they basically done was, I've just clicked on something. What they basically done with that particular website was they jacked on other people's authority. So they done 80 podcasts. They used those high-profile psychic people to be authors on their website. Now, these guys are well known in the industry, so they do link back to their Facebooks, they do link back to all of the other stuff, and in turn, they've basically been doing what I call authority jacking. So they're able to build up expertise, authority, and trust, and you can see that since they came out of the December update, or the November-December update, their website has shot up massively, where everyone else's has went down, fell off a cliff, basically. So as far as I'm concerned, websites like yours, which has no expertise, authority, and trust, it's just never going to get anywhere. With Rahul Sharma being the author here. Now, there's no... Who is Rahul Sharma? Well, nothing here at all. To suggest that he's a real guy, other than a link to probably what is another affiliate website. So there's no real trust there. But also, if I go and put this through something like copyscape.com, I'm going to guess that this content is not unique. So Rahul Sharma writes for every website here, so that's just the author part that's going to come up. So that's not hugely important. But we could basically reverse engineer your whole network to that guy there. But this guy, Rahul Dixit, so he's either Rahul Sharma or Rahul Dixit. This guy's calling himself all sorts of names. Now, the content doesn't appear to be plagiarized, but you would need to dig deeper into that. What I can tell you is this guy has no credibility at all. This guy does not know his own name, let alone anything else. So he's a persona. He's not a real guy. And that website is just never going to get anywhere because of that. There's nothing here to suggest that this is a credible, newsworthy website. And it's why, in my opinion, you will always have very low amounts of traffic because you're just putting up post after post after post. Whilst you're building links, there's no credibility, there's no trust, there's nothing else going on here. And I just think it's a poor job, in all honesty. Now, if I click on Facebook, here, you've got some stuff here, but you're not even posting frequently on here. It's once a month. There's just not enough volume. This is not being treated as a real project. Now, anyone out there who's a real business is going to have a following. They're going to have a social media profile that's all going to look together into building authority and trust. And this is just a potential spun article being spun out there, and that stuff no longer works that well. So I think you need to increase the level of content you're adding. You need to also make sure that you're not just adding content for the sheer hell of adding content. You need to merge some of those posts together, get better keyword targeting, maybe even niche down a little bit. You know, you're going from, you know, truck seat covers to WD-40, you know, and I know that's under the automotive section, but you know, you've got so many sections on here that in terms of overall, you know, what is this website about? It's one of those big general websites that, you know, really isn't going anywhere. And Rahul Sharma or Rahul Dixit is writing the posts on all of these things. And lastly, you're writing stuff about health. So you are going to be slammed by the EAT update. You also talk about real estate, which comes under the your money, your life. And some of these other ones, including business, is also going to come under your money, your life. And that's why I'm emphasizing that even though EAT is particularly for the medic niche, your website will have a filter over it because your author is just seen as a joke figure. And for me, that is where you're going massively wrong with that website.
You know, I can provide some insights as well. You know, change the strategy. Forget about covering everything, especially if you have no traffic right now. It's better to create less but quality. Forget about all these topics. You try to compete with news websites, leave to CNN or New York Times or something else, you know, because these websites have audience. If you have no audience, why you try to provide a lot of news? No, especially low quality. It's better to create a few pages, but quality, some green content or something else, because I had the same error with one of my clients. He published a lot of news, but nobody cares about this news. I told him, why you why you waste your time with providing this news, because all news live a few days, not more. People know from popular resources all this news. Is better to skip it, forget, and provide some evergreen content. Change strategy, change your thoughts about how you need to promote your websites, and consider the parameter expertise, authority, trust. It's important today. Without this parameter, you can't go ahead. Google considers.
I mean, the guy has asked down there at the second last thing, does Rahul Sharma and Rahul Dixit really matter? 100% it matters. It's insanity. You're giving people medical advice on what CBD to buy, and the guy doesn't know his own name. That it can't be seen as credible, and that's why it doesn't rank. So if you want better traffic and better everything, what Anatoly's saying, you need to improve the quality overall and work on your persona, the person that's behind that website, which is Rahul Sharma or Rahul Dixit. That matters way more than you're actually thinking. So honestly, rethink your whole strategy.
Okay, I have the question about providing some section bio for gaming websites, gambling, and many of these websites don't want to provide who create content for them. I don't know why. I think some legal stuff, I don't know exactly, but many of them reply to me, I can't do it, sorry, I can't submit my photo, my name, can we skip it? It's hard. Can you provide some insights? What can you do if you can't provide your insights? To create fake person, or it's better to live like this?
I mean, for me, in terms of future-proofing your business and everything else, create a fake persona. People do it all the time. Now, I'm not suggesting that you have to do anything crazy here, but you know, you can buy cheap PR gigs from people and make sure that we'll just use the Rahul Sharma guy as an example to, keep that guy as the persona, but build a Facebook page for him, build a Twitter page for him, release some cheap PR articles about the guy, and, do stuff like that so that he's seen as a credible source. You've got to remain consistent across the board as well. So if he's an author on other websites, don't change his surname. Keep that consistent, because all you're doing, I wouldn't trust Rahul Sharma. When I see that, I've very quickly been able to see that that's a fake guy. And Google are a lot smarter than me, put it that way.
Yeah.
And that's where, these things are important. Do a bit of PR. Pretend that Rahul Sharma's talking at the, some conference or whatever. Any bullshit, as long as it's credible and it's on the right websites, builds authority and trust. So it's not hard to do. People are using fake personas all day long. So I think, Google's going to get more and more aggressive, and they do want to see a persona behind the website. I'm not sure about the gambling niche, because in the gambling niche, spam still works. People are still using PBNs. People are using black hat strategies. That's just because the way that industry is and how competitive it is. Google obviously know that, but they let it go under the carpet because these guys are spending millions in paid ads and everything else, so they can't afford to ban them. That's why you get away with more in certain industries. But back to Rahul Sharma, giving health advice, giving business advice, giving real estate advice, you have to be seen as a credible source in that. And if you're not, then make sure that he's then seen as a credible source and given that level of advice. It's easy to trick Google into thinking you're a credible source, but you have to spend a bit of money and a bit of time optimizing for that. And that's the best way to do it.
Yep. And it's interesting because for my Russian and Ukrainian blog, by the way, Substat ranks our website in the 7th position in Ukraine and 15th position in Russia. Not bad, because we have some audience there. And we usually pay a lot more than any other bloggers to provide content for our blog. But we don't submit numerous articles a month, just 1-2 articles, and they provide a lot of results. I see on your website that you publish a lot. I saw that in your sitemap. Yep, a lot of content. Why you need to have all this content if it doesn't work? It's better to find a few topics, submit the best possible information there, pay 5 times more for copywriters who can submit trust bio, for Google and even audience, because it's not only for Google. People check out the section bio and analyze who create this content, because they're interested. Can they trust you? I think Google has own resources to check it out. It's better.
What you're saying there is also right. What you massively need to do, and where I've massively made mistakes, I a few years ago seen an SEO guy, and he had 2,000 blog posts on his website. So when I seen that, I came home and I'm like, that's my content writer. Just fucking write about anything, write everything, blah, 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 blah. And I've done that for the last year. And obviously you're saying you looked at my website. One of the problems I've got is I now have 400 plus blog posts on my website talking about a wide variety of things. Probably 20 of them actually get traffic. The other 380 are worthless. They're waste of time. So I've massively fell into that trap of thinking volume. I want to dominate the world and all that stuff. Whereas 20 on my website that were done a little bit better, that have videos and all that kind of stuff, brings in all of my traffic. So advice going forward is don't think volume, think quality. I could get, here's another example. If you put in what is SEO, Neil Patel ranks around about position 4. That page ranks for 3,000 search terms. It's 20,000 words long, and it's probably took him a month to write the thing. but he gets so much traffic through that it's unreal. So is it worth spending a month writing a blog post? In that case, yeah, that probably gets him hundreds of thousands over the course of a month for the 3,000 different search terms that blog ranks for. So always quality over quantity.
Yeah, and I learned one time that Neil Patel spends $50,000 for updated content on his website because he doesn't have time to check out the previous blog posts, and yeah, that's why he has this massive traffic. And yeah, it's crucial, even if you create a lot of content, to check them out, the quality, to update this information. And if you have a lot of pages and these pages don't provide any ranking results, I don't know why you need to have them. It's better to remove, and you never regret. Seriously, just take them away because it's low quality. It diminishes your results. Yeah, something like this. Okay, Craig, tell me, do you have time for one website, or it's the end?
No, listen, I'm not in a rush, so I can do another website if you want.
Cool. Yeah, great.
Let me have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like your analysis because you check out links, content, even it parameters. Yeah, I always pay attention to these metrics.
Yeah. To be honest, if I wasn't on here trying to do it quickly, I would also be running the website through a tool like SiteBulb, but it takes like an hour for SiteBulb to run an audit. So this is just me scratching the surface of a website. So this is by no means everything that people should be doing. There's a lot more other things, site speed, and all of these things that I want to be looking at. But I have found a website just now. Give me a second and I'll start sharing my screen. It's a nice website. Whoops, wait a second. Right, a nice DR56. So let me share my screen.
Okay.
Share screen. Now, I'm probably picking the wrong website here, but it's a hotel website. And, I'm not sure how well the industry has went over the last year, but we will check it out. So I am going to assume, Indian. So it's an Indian website targeting different hotels and resorts and all of that kind of good stuff. Now we can have a look and we can see that this website ranks for 10,000 keywords. It's got thousands of backlinks. Organic traffic's good. We can see that this website has literally been repopulated at the start of this year and has amazing growth. Bang, right up there. Look at that. That is a real traffic boner, is what I would call it. However, something I've noticed very, 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 very quickly is if you look at the title tag of the homepage here, it says home. Home. Come on. At least have the brand in there. itchotels.com or something. There's got to be a keyword that goes in here. This is obviously, these guys have just repurposed this in the last few weeks and they might still be figuring things out. However, you really need to make sure that you have a title tag in your homepage. Your homepage is the most powerful bloody page in your website. So make sure that you do have something on there. Now, again, looking at the title tag of an inner page, it's not done. So the on page is not great. I'm just going to check some other stuff here as well. So hotels and resorts. So I'm just going to click on this one here. So it's got at least the resort name, and the hotel is semi-optimized. But I think, as Goa as it gets, as you're heading, is not great. mean, it's a nice looking website. Don't get me wrong, a nice looking website. But yeah, that's not very well optimized. I'm just going to have a look around some other stuff. Just check this one. So ITC Martha Mumbai. Now, is that the best choice of keywords? You know, ITC Martha. Let's just have a look. So keyword overview. ITC Martha. It gets 10 searches a month in India. Now, you're not telling me that that's the best choice of keyword research. There has to be something else, like hotels in Mumbai or something. Has to be a better choice of keyword that gets more volume. Now, there you go. Now, I'm just going to change this to India, to your target country. Right, so there's 110,000 people a month searching for hotels Mumbai, and there's 10 people looking for that particular hotel. So you need to come up with, I would potentially be looking at hotels in Mumbai or doing some other semi-related keyword that is going to allow you to drive a lot more traffic to that main page. You know, Taj Mahal Hotel, Mumbai, and all that kind of stuff. These are all the kind of top hotels there, and you can see the search volumes. But if that hotel there, ITC Martha, doesn't get any search, then there's no point in having that in the title tag. But also what I'm noticing is your title tag doesn't match up with your header one tag, and it doesn't really match, you know, that's semi-matching it there. But I think in terms of content, and on-page SEO, there's not an internal link. There's not any real keyword targeting. And I think this website could be a lot better. So whilst you've got amazing growth there and you've got a powerful website, now I'm going to guess that you bought this from an auction or similar, and you've been able to get decent results very, very quickly. But imagine that you actually done some SEO on this. The level of traffic that website would actually get would be insane. So you've got the backlinks sitting there. The power is there right now. And if we look at your referring domains, you can see, I'm not sure of how good they are, you know, overall, but I'm going to guess that there's some decent relevance in there as well. The reason I'm guessing that is because you don't get that level of quick growth without these links being good. So you're on quite a lot of what I would consider to be reputable websites, Trip Savvy and all that stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of good backlinks here. And obviously your poor on-page SEO has taken you a great way, a great deal forward. But having a look at this website, I think there's a lot more you could do with those pages. Now, you've also got destination pages here as well. Bengaluru hotels. Your title tag there is just Bengaluru. You know, again, poor. Header on the page, Bengaluru, poor. You know, this is just a poor attempt at on-page SEO. Whilst it's a new website, obviously there's massive holes to be picked in the on-page side of things. And again, what I would recommend is using something like POP and using SEMrush and everything else to make sure that you're, one, doing the keywords, keyword research properly, implementing the keywords onto the website, improving the content, improving the on-page experience, also improving everything else, you know, your subheadings and everything, and that website will fly, absolutely fly. It's already flown a great deal, and that's obviously down to the volume and the power of those backlinks. But I think, you know, if you took that a bit more serious, and I'm not saying you're not, that website could really make some fucking real money. You know, honestly, if that's an expired domain name and you've been able to get that level of growth in such a short period of time. You've done a great job so far, and this all may be stuff that you've still got to do and you've just not got around to doing it. So I don't want to be overcritical, but if you come back to me and say that's my website and that's my page done, honestly, I would be really angry because that is a great opportunity. The search volume in India, there's billions of people that stay there. You can make so much fucking money from that website. So I would be excited at that opportunity. I just think better keyword research, content strategy and stuff like that. You've got the backlinks in place, so it's all on page. Just make sure you do better with that.
Yeah, I think, it's a gift for SEO specialists, to work with this website, because I had the same experience. It's like 5 years ago, one client came to me, and he had a website about weight loss supplements, and he told me, if you provide results for a month, I will bring a huge contract. And when I check out website, I found totally the same. With any titles, all of them were boring. Titles were written for the sake of having it. People are not blind. They usually read titles before clicking. You need to provide a strong reason to open your website. And when I rewrote these titles, the traffic was increased 3 times. That was a good gift for me, because after this, I cooperated with this client over 2 years, and he brought like 40% of all my money that I could earn from all my clients. Yep, not bad. And I only rewrote titles in the first month. I see here totally the same. You have traffic, but boring titles is sometimes you have no titles. Just rewrite them. By the way, I have a tool. My website audit, you can check out with my tool, because it scans your website and provide insights where you can rewrite titles. I put the link. Just insert your website and and rewrite titles.
I think you've got to use all these tools to analyze that and find all of those quick wins. But as you say, Anatoly, I would be excited with that website. If someone said to me, Craig, prove your worth on that website, within a month or two, I would be rubbing my hands. I would be, I think there's a great scalability there. So good job on finding that, or however you acquired that website, because that is exciting stuff. And that's all about. It's finding those rough gems out there, and man, honestly, so much money to be made there.
Yeah. Okay, Craig. Thanks a lot, for all your insights. I love to talk with you. You provide a lot of value for my audience. And hope we can do it again. We get a lot of leads, and I'm going to provide some conference in August, in the end of August, and I know that you've always been a good audience. We can start from you, if you're interested, of course. And cool. Okay, we have. Let me check out. We have 42 websites on the list. Guys, you can reach out to Craig Campbell. You can find the links in the description below. We have no time to analyze all websites on this live stream, but you can ask Craig, to provide these insights on his social media. By the way, which way is better, LinkedIn or Twitter?
Probably Twitter. I'm not a huge fan of LinkedIn. So you can get me probably on Twitter, Facebook, or go to my website, which is craigcampbellseo.com, and you'll find links to all of my social media. Also check out my YouTube channel, where I've got a lot of these tutorials and different things where you can analyze your own website and do that stuff, just following the tutorials. So, you can get me on any of those platforms.
I see you're super active on YouTube, yeah, a lot of great live streams. Yeah, cool. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Follow Craig Campbell on his social media, check out his YouTube channel, and thanks a lot for taking time and sharing value with my audience.
No worries, always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.